What is
Recording in progress.
What it do? What it do? What it do? It's your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes, and who am I with? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 66. Welcome, motherfucker.
Very smooth, very smooth. I think that's 3 times in a row. You've messed up. I was cutting it close there with some off-camera antics, but I was on point, man. I match it up with the beat of the song. It gives me a countdown that I have to deal with, but 66. Let's fucking go, bro. One more time, a little round of applause, because this is so good. We're so deep now. It's like literally it's like a part of our week.
100%. And yeah, I just have to tell the audience, I legitimately felt like I was gonna die today. I was like so sick. It was like Jesus fucking Christ. Whew. I'm because I love the audience. I'm here.
Well, we appreciate you. I guess you still didn't show up, but we're glad you're feeling okay.
No,
what
I
are you
didn't
doing?
show up.
Are you like?
I didn't show up for the last podcast.
Yeah, the last podcast. So maybe this is like podcast karma. But I'm glad you're feeling good, or good enough to be on the pod today.
Yeah. No, shout out.
Aren't you like quarantined right now? You look like you're in a padded room, like it's just a blank white wall. This is seriously, you look like whenever you call someone in, you get to video chat with them in prison. This is like a prison video chat. It's pretty epic.
It's literally, I'm sitting on my bed.
And you're wearing like a gray like t-shirt, like it could easily have
This
something.
Is blue.
Oh,
it's
blue.
blue.
Oh, I guess maybe it's because I have my brightness turned down. But you know, it easily looks like it could just have like something stenciled on the front of it.
Nah, it's blank.
SMC.
I think it's from Target.
Oh, okay. Shout out Target.
Yeah.
Deals, good prices, fancy.
Yeah. What Target has gotten hit. I think they're down 50% in their revenue right now.
Damn.
Yeah. I was gonna say this, and you told me to save it, but and she might hear this because of where I'm located right now, but I may or may not have took some fungus on Saturday, and with the Iron Ape, and we were on my balcony, smoking a cigarette, and she peers out of her window. And then gets naked.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's.
Yeah, I was like, the Iron Ape was like, don't look at it. And I was like, don't look at what? And I turn around and she's just fucking naked.
Like staring at you through the window?
She stared at us, so she knew we were there.
That's weird.
And then got naked. And she has a husband.
That's really weird, dude. You need to stay away from that. I just played the evil laugh. That is terrifying. Absolutely not. No. Stay away from that. No. You don't want any part of that. You said your
Yes,
neighbor?
I do.
No,
yes,
you
I
do not. That is your neighbor. You want to stay away from that. Oh my gosh. Absolutely not. Through a window? No. Peers to look and make sure you're looking like, hey boys, get out of here. It's either that or it's like she's gonna be like you're.
She looked good though.
Dude, that's psychotic. No.
What
did the ape tell you? What did the Iron Ape tell you? Stay the fuck away from that.
No, he was like he just cannot handle being in public on mushrooms. So
Okay.
he's like, there's no fucking. I'm like, I feel like I should go over there.
Did you go over there?
No.
Okay, good.
But I felt bad about it.
No, you did the right thing. She's married, giving you flash dances through a window, through the French doors, because she's got the blinds up. Absolutely not. No.
But
No,
her husband is like a simp. Like so, I felt like it could have happened.
I don't want. I do. You do. I'm telling you right now. If you get in some shit, do not call me on that one. I told you. This is enough forewarning. It's your neighbor. He could be crazy.
Right? No, she is crazy.
No, she is. He could be too.
No, he's not. Like I could like whoop his ass, but she she professionally does karate, eh, but karate with nunchucks and ninja stars, which I did not know was a thing.
That's
But
pretty tight. But no, no.
so like she's wild.
That girl's gonna kick you in the dude. No, you don't. Absolutely not.
Okay, so listen to this then. On Black Friday, I went on a date to a dog park, and like we had a really good time. We were there for like an hour, and then I asked her if she wanted to come back to my house, and she said, "Yeah, for sure." And I gave her my address, and then she just never showed up.
Damn, that's kind of rough.
And then she just texted me today. Her dad died.
Damn, what,
Yeah,
dude?
And she probably is listening to this, so
Why?
I'm not gonna say her name, but like,
That's epic, dude. I thought you, dude. That's a good reason to bail on anybody.
no, well no, it happened today.
Wait, that happened today?
Yeah,
Oh, whoa. I thought you meant like, dude, that's crazy.
I know.
What do you
Also-
bring? Damn, man.
I know. I should have said I should have said dark alert.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
I'm just trying to tell you, like, recap my week.
Well, I know you just gotta say dark alert. I got sound effects,
I know,
so you
I
made
know.
it sound like you got ditched. And I went, oh, and then I
Yeah.
had no sound effect after that. Like, there's no follow up to that.
Well, it was so fucking weird because her dad went to the hospital the same day that my dad did last week because he had a seizure, and my dad got out of the hospital, but her dad.
Yeah, man, things are crazy right now. People gotta take care of yourselves,
Ugh,
take care of each other. Like,
I know.
not to drop the Jerry Springer, but you know, that's what he says. Until
It
next
is.
time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's right.
Close it out. I'm telling you, man, he's a genius.
Shout out Jay Springs.
Yeah, dude, come on. Like, seriously, I want, like, have us on. Let us play a role. Let us do something. I'll put on fake teeth.
he
Yeah, I'll put
still
on
have a
fake
show?
teeth and be like, yes, he still does Jerry Springer still have a show?
Are you
What are you
serious?
talking? Yes, of course. It's one of the longest running shows on TV. If not, it's the least in syndication.
What? Well, at least that.
Or if
but-
I ever made a movie, I would want Jerry Springer to play the dad. Regardless, it wouldn't matter. It could be like an Asian family, and Jerry Springer would still be the dad. It'd just be like epic.
Why?
Just
Why?
because that's just like bucket list.
Oh my
Work with
God.
Jerry Springer. If I can't have him on, if I can't be on his show, we got to have him on here or something. That'd be it. That's what I make it. If I get to interview Jerry Springer, that's like basically it. That's all.
Well, yeah.
It's all coasting after that.
Oh yeah.
Or if you get or if you get to interview Chris Hansen, that'd be epic too.
About being the first catfish.
Yeah, first catfish, and then like his like boat tax evasion and being sued and all that crazy shit and ducking the law. Like now Chris Hansen's kind of like a YouTube bad boy, so that'd be kind of.
I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I keep up with it.
Why do you keep up with Chris Hansen?
Because Chris Hansen's like you said, the OG catfish.
No,
There's-
I am. I'm the first catfish. I was 8 years old catfishing like 22-year-olds.
True. Well, I mean, Chris Hansen's
But-
up
but-
there,
but-
and he had an operation. He had like a sting house. Chris Hansen's just epic, and then he ended up getting in all this other trouble, but he was older because his like money dried up, and now he just like busts weirdos on the back pages like on his own time with like a laptop. It's great. It's awesome. I don't know, Chris Hansen. He's like got to be top 50 interviewers of all time because some of his interviews are too clutch.
What I was saying was like he would just show up at my house. He's like, "This is not to catch a predator. This is to catch a baller." Like, you're fucking 8, and you're like
Take a seat. Yeah.
smashing the game.
Take a seat. Take a seat. So what are you doing here? Yeah, no, but he was just.
I'm
He's
like,
just
I'm
epic.
8. What are you doing here?
Yeah. True. Yeah, but I mean, I guess that'd be like bucket list. But if you got to interview Jerry Springer, then like obviously you'd make it to some level. I don't think he just goes around and does interviews.
Do you think that we could get Oprah?
That would be epic. That would be a showdown. That would be almost
It'd be
like
way better than both of them.
true. I'd be like,
Yeah.
so how many people have how many people's dreams have you destroyed to get to this
Oh,
point?
get the fuck out of here, dude.
And she'd be
Don't-
like 48. She'd have
I
like
feel-
an exact number, 48.
I feel like you're talking shit about like the equivalent of like talking shit about Michelle Obama. It's just like shut
No,
up.
you can.
Shut
They're
the
not
fuck
in the
up.
same class. How dare you?
They're close. Come on, man.
Michelle Obama, she a real one. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, no
Oprah's a
shit,
real
she
one.
is. My dad would talk shit about Michelle Obama. He would call her a linebacker. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
What? Get out of here, Dutch goober.
No, that was his worst take of all time.
Yeah, that's top. But I'm just saying, Chris Hansen's top 50 interviewers in American history. He's had some good ones, and they're like timeless. You would have, yeah, whatever.
I mean, that's it's the strong flex. All right. Y'all, as we do, we get into therapy questions first. Therapy question number 1, Joseph, and for the audience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on. Okay, so we're getting close to like not the tipping point, but if you guys have any therapy questions, like send them in, let us know,
Yeah.
give us some advice.
'Cause we're running out.
Because he's running out, and he's like coming up. These are fucking paragraphs, man. This is like a reading comprehension test.
Okay, I'll read it all.
Couple
Therapy.
times.
Yeah, therapy question number 1. How should we treat animals? Is it possible that some animals, dolphins, chimps, birds, dogs, etc., have sophisticated languages that we aren't able to interpret yet, but we might be able to in the future? Imagine ordering a burger if you could understand what a cow was saying or thinking. Animals might not think in the way we do because they experience the world differently, but does this mean they are not equal to us? Is it our responsibility to look after all species as well as our own?
Boy, what type of Green New Deal AOC bullshit is that? Come on now. If I could think like a cow, would I order a burger?
So I feel
What?
like that the question is it our responsibility to look after them?
Yeah, we have an endangered species list. Now, obviously, we could take better care of things, and I think that like large mill farming and all that weird shit where we keep chickens cooped up in cages and they never move and they inject them with shit to make them bigger. That's
But
all
we do
fucked
that.
up. No, I'm saying that's all fucked up. We shouldn't be doing that shit. But I mean,
What about
obviously,
like, what about
these animals speak languages that we can't necessarily interpret.
but do you think that we like will eventually?
I mean, I hope so. I hope we can figure out like why a mockingbird's a dick and just repeats everybody and doesn't come up with his own shit. You know,
you and Mockingbird.
I'm just saying. There's obviously some sort of reason behind it, and right now it just looks like straight trolling. Or
There's
we
no-
a cow's
no-
moo. But I mean, no one can sit there and be like, "Well, I speak fluent cow," or "I speak
There's
fluent
no
dolphin,"
fuck-
or "fluent
There's
whale."
no fucking way that we will figure out what a cow has to say. Like I figure out what my dog has to say by her just looking at me and like being like, "Yo, bro, we gotta go outside."
No, definitely. But I mean, they obviously speak languages that we don't understand, for sure. Obviously, they speak. There's some communication that we don't understand on a certain level. Just like ants communicate and they use like chemicals and pheromones and shit, and they can't even talk, and they just like guide each other around by sense and shit.
Yeah, and
You know.
bees.
Yeah, I mean, or bats use sonar. Like, there's so many different things and ways that that animals communicate with each other and with others. There's other stuff that understand, like different primates understand each other to a certain extent.
Well, don't dolphins use sonar as well?
They use some sort of like advanced futuristic alien radar from under the sea, brought to us by the Atlanteans. No, but I mean, they can see without using. Like, the sonar, the echolocation that bats use, because they're like,
Echolocation. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blind as fuck, which would be a type power, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if climate change didn't exist, I feel like there is a possibility that we would figure out like what the fuck they were saying.
What you know
But
what's gonna
I feel
happen
I feel like it's gonna be over by then.
if the world comes to like an end like that and everything's all like gray and dark and shit. Bats are gonna take the fuck over, man.
No, no, not bats, rats.
Yeah, but bats will eat rats, and they will be able to see and navigate and fly really well at night without being able to have clear skies. They'll be able to be like, "Meh," they'll get huge, man. There'll be giant rats versus bats, dude. Bro, no.
I know.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we should think about the cows and with it, dude. No, I mean, I think that it's up to us to make sure we're not like destroying the planet or completely eradicating a species of something. The mistakes hopefully we've learned from our mistakes and make more of an effort to protect certain animals. And like you could say that we don't do enough, for sure. We're not even just with the planet, but other endangered species. We kind of pick and choose which ones we give a fuck about. So
Yeah,
you know,
tough therapy question there.
it's not tough. I mean, it's just asking like, should we take better care of the planet and be more like thoughtful when it comes to the planet and the other creatures on it? Like, yeah, that's an easy answer. Yes. Now, to get everybody on the same page with that's what's difficult.
Yeah, especially like with like countries that aren't as developed as us. Like it's like yeah, I understand that's a problem, but we have to live. Like you know.
Yeah.
All right. Therapy question number 2. Another paragraph.
Therapy story number 2.
Is everything connected? Thinkers from all ages and countries have discussed the idea that we are all connected and that everything we do affects everyone else. What do you think about this? Imagine if you dropped a piece of litter by accident. What might happen to it? What might happen to that piece of litter? What might it become if you recycled? What might the story of that piece of litter be? Isn't that like the butterfly effect? Is it like essentially that?
No,
question?
this is like the most boring butterfly effect ever. There's no Ashton Kutcher like stabbing himself in the hands like, eh, like that part was fucking badass.
Like
Discuss the idea. What if is everything connected?
Yeah.
Yes, duh. What do you mean? Is everything connected?
I'm just asking.
Get out of here. What? What do you think? What do I think about this? Everything connected. Yeah, butterfly effect. Oh, that's cool. That's like, oh man, you blew up that mailbox, and that's the most ridiculous premise, by the way. But you blew up this mailbox, and these people died, and now we gotta like keep making our heads hurt and change the past to alter this this timeline so we don't blow up the baby. Like that's essentially like that's kind of what it is.
There's this book called Sliding Doors, and it's like about like somebody trying to get on like a subway in like New York, and the door closes before they get on, and then something happens to them, or they get into the door onto the subway, and then all of a sudden something happens to them and their life has just changed. And then I realized that's kind of just the butterfly effect.
Yeah, but this question's like a question that your environmental science teacher would write to give you an essay question just to make you write something, so they could be like, that was pretty tough.
Well,
like, I guess
what would happen to that litter?
It would be, if it was recycled, it'd be whatever it was recycled into. I don't know. It could be anything from a lawn chair to a recycling bin to another bottle. It could be anything.
No, it's actually kind of bullshit, because
or it could be picked up by a hobo, and then he uses that to get like 5 cents, and he turns them all in with all of his other cans. Who knows?
Or he like pees in it, and then PJ Newkirk picks it up and uses it to like pass a drug test.
Gross.
He did that.
Okay. That's gross.
All right. Therapy question number 3.
What kind of question is
I'm sorry.
Is
dude.
everything connected?
Yeah.
Dot
Is
dot
it?
dot. That's yeah. I mean, it's a good. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's like an essay question.
Yeah. Can I think myself happy? Come
That's like.
on, hold
I
on.
know, all right.
It's a paragraph. Does focusing on happiness make you happy? Is it possible to think yourself into being happy all the time by positive thinking?
That's. Can I think myself happy? I want to be happy. I'm not happy all the time, but I think myself happy. Um, I mean,
think the
I
answer is
think that you can.
no.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can. I think you can try to trick yourself into being happy, and those are people that like snap, or someone who's like, "Oh, I married this guy because I thought I'd be happy, and I pretend to be happy, and now I'm not happy." And it's like, you can't do that. You can't force yourself to enjoy something you don't enjoy. That's just
Yeah,
if you're either.
like because I'm super optimistic. However, I feel like chemicals in your brain is why you would be happy versus like depressed. It's not really like up to you.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah. I
like I
mean,
like I think like that the best is gonna happen like just in general, but that doesn't mean like that's gonna make me happy.
well, like I said, there's things that'll like life happens in real time. We just react in real time. I think I've said that before. And like whenever you're going through stuff, I know when certain things are when I'm starting to feel depressed. And if I'm starting to feel depressed, I know that I need to actively make an effort to make sure that I'm doing something, because I will have a certain reaction, or feel a certain way about something, and it can affect my sleep or my eating or whatever. So to maintain like a healthy mental state and not like hyper fixate on something, I have to go do something. Or I mean, shit, these podcasts help. There's lots of things that I can do that really help. So I think that while having a positive mindset can help, and you'll have it'll help you when it comes to trying to see the good side of things, or really trying to remain positive through a hard time. You can't like just constantly think like, okay, I'm gonna be happy today, and then you're happy. I mean, people hate those people that are always fake happy, or they're happy all the time and nothing's ever wrong, and you're like, that's not true. Like
Yeah.
you're fronting, you bullshitting, bruh.
Yeah, like in the beginning of COVID, my dog died, and I it was COVID, so I was like quarantined up, and I got like seriously depressed and had to go to like residential therapy, and I actually started taking antidepressants. However, I stopped taking them, and I felt way better. So it's kind of like weird, like how shit works.
Yeah, I mean, see, I was never on any antidepressants or anything. I
I
was
did
in
for like 6 months.
I was in like a bunch of therapy as a kid. But really, they had me taking, I mean, from first grade until I guess eighth or ninth grade, they had me taking some sort of ADHD medication. If it was Siler, Ritalin, like Adderall, like anything. I remember, yeah, like first grade, I think, from first grade until I just refused to take it, like in some point in eighth grade. And that had a huge effect on my mood, like for forever, like to where it made me a lot like short tempered, and it just kind of made me more of a dick from time to time, and I'd be quicker to get in a fight or snap or lash out. And once I stopped doing that, it completely changed how my moods were, to where it was like, oh, when I was on that, they were like, oh, well, what's wrong with Joseph? We should put him on something else. And it's like, no, how about I just don't take this, and maybe I'll be okay.
Yeah, and I'm not a therapist, but I think this is like true because I read about it, which is antidepressants have never ever been studied on how like they will affect you like quote long term. Like I think the only studies they've ever done is like how it affects you for the first year, and they were like never ever like approved for doing it for your entire life. So it's like that might not be a good situation, like but we don't know.
Well, I mean, man, they can be good for people, you know. There's, and if you find like the right, I mean, we're not medical professionals telling you to or not to,
yeah.
so don't get it twisted like that. But what I am saying is, you know, I know people who are on them and they've done miraculous things for their lives and really helped them balance. But I know finding that right thing or what worked for them and that right dosage and that right amount took like a lot of time. So it's, I know like that's difficult for people, you know, if they choose to want to do that and then go through the process of finding what works for them, because it's not like you can walk in and they're like, oh, we can give you this. And that's like basically what they did with me, but when it was with ADHD medication, they're like, oh, well, this is new and it's different, so try this and then try that. And they were just like giving me all different sorts of shit. Where like true story. So I knew that if I took if I took like my Silert, which is super old school, and I had like a little pill cutter, and I that was up on the top shelf, where like I had to take like one full one, a half of one at lunch, and then a half of one when I got home. So dude, they had me like loaded on this shit. On Adderall, I was taking like 40 milligrams or something a day. They're giving me like a 20 whenever in the morning, and then a 20 when I went to school. So I would just like be like, give them the fuck away, because my mom was like, you need to take them, and I just didn't want to take them. They were awful. I hated them. But I knew if I took my ADHD medication, I could stay up all night, because I wouldn't get tired. So if I was gonna go like spend the night at someone's house, and we were gonna go sneak out and go do something, I could just like go up there, grab one of those, use the pill cutter, cut one in half, eat it before I went to go do something, and I wouldn't be tired. Isn't that crazy? That I was like, so I mean, it's not like good or bad, but that's how much they had me on that stuff, that I realized that when I was on it, I was like almost like I wouldn't fall asleep. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, I was like about to hesitate saying this, and then I realized that it's talk shit, get off the pod, and I want to be like as most honest as I can be. I am prescribed to Adderall, and I take 40 milligrams a day.
That was a lot, man. But yeah, remember, this is when I was in like,
no, I know, when you're
first,
a kid,
second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh.
That's crazy.
Eighth grade. Crazy. So they were, it's because I was really like extroverted, so they tried to get me to calm down. So if it like 20 wasn't enough, 30 wasn't enough, they would just like, just keep giving them more. It'll chill them the fuck out. It was really interesting. Whenever they probably should have been like, you should just go do like theater art shit, and you should go do this, or you should go do something else. They were like, no, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about the Oregon Trail.
I forget her name, but a girl that we went to high school with, like in 9th grade, she was being given 60 milligrams. And I was like, that is fucked up. That's almost like child abuse.
Dude, it's like they're like tranking your kids. That's why it's like I never was into it. I mean, for ADHD stuff, I think there's more constructive ways you can go about doing it. But yeah, man, like I was just not into it. The best thing I ever did was stop taking it. For sure, was stop taking it. And I'm not saying that you should stop taking it, but I'm saying for me and how it was affecting me. And this is back whenever like you really didn't have a say. It was like you come home and your parents are like, you're on this.
And they also didn't know.
And they didn't know shit about it.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't know if you needed it or not.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, this is like, 92, 93. They're just like, take this, kid. That's stock market's is only going to rise, and houses are going to get cheaper. Go to college. Don't worry. Everything will work out for you. Take this pill, kid.
At the same time, though, like, I felt like that maybe I should have been taking it in high school, but my parents were like, you don't have ADHD, like it. So then I just like felt like I like underperformed, like except for I was just good at tests, so like I crushed the SAT, and that's the only way I got into college. Otherwise I wouldn't have.
Yeah, like I crushed tests and stuff, but I mean it didn't help me like focus, and it made me, for me, even if it did and there was an upside to it, it made me so moody and so frustrated that it wasn't like good for my mental state when I was taking it, that for me and for understanding myself, like the benefits didn't outweigh like the cost. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like, hey, like this sucks, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever, you just don't like taking it. It's like, nah, like, so if you're on it, it's good for you, awesome. If not, and you don't want to take it or whatever, like, I don't know. ADHD is something that you can figure out if you come up with a constructive way to like manage it. I think it can be managed unless you have like some crazy extreme of it. Just understanding yourself, I guess.
Shawnee D.
Yeah.
Quick Draw. He took Concerta.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before he had to give a speech in our psychology AP class, and we were juniors, and there was like every hot senior like girl like that was in the school was in that class, and you just started pouring sweat, and like got all sorts of nervous, and like it was like concerning. I was like, God damn. I was like, dude, like you got to get out of here. Like, like all these girls are looking at you like you're fucking crazy. And I never have taken Concerta. Like, I just wouldn't do it. Like, because
I think that's
that,
the last thing that they had me on. Maybe
yeah.
was that, and I was just like, nah, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it, coach.
I just saw him melting down. Like, I was like,
All right,
fuck.
All right, therapy paragraph number 4.
What's the difference between grown-ups and children?
Dude, bruh.
I know. Do grown-ups have all the answers? Do kids sometimes know stuff too?
Okay, dude. Tell me where you got these fucking questions from, just so I can like not attribute these just to you. Like, tell me you pulled these from like Southern Living or like Homestead and Country. I mean, I just made that magazine up. You could just agree with that. I made that up.
No,
Jesus.
I won't tell you. Kids are inquisitive, always checking how things work and how they come apart. And kids know how to muck about and be silly.
You did not write this. You copy and pasted this. Muck about and be silly? Bro, you did not write this.
A very important part of life. Some grown-ups forget how to do that. Ask yourself what grown-ups can learn from kids and vice versa.
You are in charge of clipping you reading that and sending me that video. What's the difference between grown-ups and children?
Yeah, I'm
perspective.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. I'd say perspective. Besides like the inherent physical differences and like time on Earth and age difference, probably perspective. Now that's not true for all adults. Some adults are still fucking kids, but I think that as you get older, you're still like, you know, inherently not the same as you were as a child, but you're a compilation of your life experiences and like, you know, how you choose to apply those to your life. So like your perspective should be better. Adults have more perspective.
But don't you think that you lose some of like your like what you think like when you're a kid, like, and not for the better? Like,
yes and no. I mean, I think you learn like the thing that you lose when you're a kid is more like how naive you are to how things work around you, or like the potential impact your decisions can have on you down the road. So that's why you're more cautious, hopefully, when you're an adult, because you understand that anything can fucking happen. You can get punched in the mouth. When you're a kid and you're 19, you don't really realize that. So you're like, oh, I'm going to take some bars and I'm going to go drive around and be stupid and go get some Arby's. Like, yeah, you can get a DWI. You can get in serious trouble that can affect you when you're 30. You don't get a job. Like, but you don't think about it like that because you have this reckless abandon.
The opposite, though, is also true, which is like you think anything is possible as a kid. And,
well, yeah, no, but
then when you're an adult, like you lose that like sense of like wonder.
Yeah, but I think you start losing the sense of wonder that anything is possible a little bit like before you're done with high school. I think there's certain things you want to do, whether it be like, okay, well, I'm going to be starting quarterback of the football team, said 15 kids that grew up where we grew up, and that was determined when we were in like 8th grade who that person was going to be
Yeah,
for infinity.
exactly. It was
And that's
Chase
what,
Daniel.
yeah, but what I'm saying, and then like who his successor was, and his successor, and his successor, that was already decided. So I mean, to teach those kids that they don't always get what they want, and that not everything is possible. Like I think some certain people, depending on their life route, learn that earlier, and the earlier the better. I think if you start learning that for the first time as an adult, that's when you see these adult children that run around and throw hissy fits and are hella entitled. Like it's, I think that life slowly starts checking you. I think you're just oblivious to it and you think you're invincible, so they kind of just bounce off of you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's like, meeting a kid who's 19 who's like, yeah, man, I got an MIP last summer, just hanging out at the lake on the boat and on a bunch of beer. We got stopped. You'd be like, that's stupid. Like, why are you driving? Like, they're going to search your boat. You're obviously a kid. Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? Like, that's instantly dumb to us. But, like, I'm pretty sure we've done stupid shit like that, too. And that's just being like, well, we're not going to get caught. We're not going to get in trouble. And that like reckless abandon or sense of invincibility is like what you lose when you become an adult, because you understand that that's totally not possible. Or like the smart adults figure that out sooner than later. Some people never figure it out.
Yeah, well, what's fucking crazy is that I vividly remember when I was 16 that like I had heard that kids feel like that they're invincible, and I was like, yeah, that's probably true, except for I'm different. Like, how fucking insane
Stupid.
is that?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's kind of like the norm. That's almost like a part of American culture. You got to make, people have to realize. That's what I'm saying. The earlier, the better. Like, there are consequences to your actions. You need to make sure that you're avoiding, like, staying out of trouble in some cases in your younger years a lot, because that can hamper you and keep you from being able to go down other avenues you might want to later, that you don't even realize that's what you want to do. That's what sucks whenever you're that age, is you can make bad decisions that can impact you before you even realize fully realize what type of person you want to be. And that, not to be like all preachy, but that's, I tell like a lot of these younger kids that work for me, I'm like, pay attention to the people around you. Like, listen to other people's stories and like pay attention and like learn from other people's mistakes. I'll tell you stories. Learn from my mess ups. That's what you should be doing. Absorb around you and pay attention. Like, it's fun now, but you're surrounded. You could go into 7-Eleven and see like 9 different things you should try to avoid if you just pay attention. You don't want to be outside begging for change outside 7-Eleven. It sucks. It happens to people and that's tough, but mental health and also like a bad choice of decisions can lead down that road. Like, or don't do drugs. Like, I know where we grew up, there was a lot of people we grew up with who got into some pretty hardcore drugs, and I had the unfortunate pleasure of like being in very close proximity to a lot of it and not doing any of it ever, because I was just watching. Like, it was like destroying people around me, and it was
we had a lot of people from our graduating class who died.
Yeah, like a lot. To where it's like, and I was going through some really hard times at that point, and I was watching people that I really cared about who in my eyes had it made in every single way I wish I'd had, like losing their lives, and I was paying attention, and so I made sure I made the right decisions and avoided those pitfalls, rather than like getting caught up into the same stuff, because I watched people go full cycle with that, so I think when you get older, you just have enough perspective, or I hope you do, or you hope that's what you should be attaining, is more information and more perspective, more understanding of other people. Yeah, more understanding of other people. Wise, a smart man learns from their mistakes. Wise men learn from the mistakes of others.
Yeah, that's like the 5th time we've said that on the podcast. But it is worth repeating.
It fits in this context too. It's just true though. Like, that's like part of what the seeking to become a better person is what our ultimate goal should be. And I don't think you realize that when you're a kid, because you don't think it's going to get any better than this, and also people around you tell you that it's not going to get any better than this, which I disagree with. I would say my adult life is much better than like what I'd say my childhood was, and I appreciate it more, and like the hard work that I had to put into it there's like a more rewarding sense to it. So I wouldn't go back in time if I could. I know some people think that like, oh, well, if I could go back, I'd go back to when I was 17 and on the roller hockey team. But it's like there were so many other things about life that were a pain in the fucking ass back then that I wouldn't trade it out, you know. But that's like perspective. Some people think that that's the peak, and that is, you know, or you there's never a peak, you know.
I mean, there's gotta be, right? But no, I know what you mean. Like, I was like a fucking idiot, you know. Like, I just like made it through. Like when I was a kid, you know. Like, I was doing like ridiculous dumb shit, like that nobody would suggest. But you know, like not like you know like unforgivable shit, just like dumb shit for like me.
Yeah, I did stuff that you'd be like, "Hey, man, what the fuck are you doing?" But I did,
Yeah,
but we all kind of did at some point. I was more like that when I was a lot younger, way more like that when I was younger, and like super crazy, and like my house life was nuts. So whenever I got older and I was like playing sports and doing whatever, it really balanced out. Everybody's parents were like, "Oh," because everyone else had quit playing sports. So the fact that I still played was like rare. You know what I'm saying? There was like a, you know, that went from being like everybody plays in 6th and 7th grade to like, oh, in our graduating class, you know, there's like 15 of us or something like that, you know, something like completely different. And everyone's parents like really liked me there at the end. So I was like, but when I was a kid, I was nuts. They're like, oh no, not that Huggins kid. And they were like,
yeah.
oh, Joseph.
Yeah, no, you made it a lot further in football. I just didn't like with football. I was just like, dude, this shit is like way too gnarly. Like, but that was specifically because of where we went to high school, where we were literally like ranked #1 in the fucking country,
Yeah, they're like,
almost every single year. Like,
ran the town.
yeah, it was like military type
But
shit.
kids do have an honesty filter that exists, that is like an endearing quality, and there's a curiosity because they don't understand how things work. So there's like honest questions about stuff that as an adult would make you laugh because it's such like an honest literal question. Like little kids are very literal for the most part. You know, you can get the ones that deal in sarcasm and stuff, but even then they take what you say as like law, or like, you know, there's like this perspective of them where it's like you're older, so everything you say is true. You're infallible, you know, you're Uncle Andy or Uncle Huggy or whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time, like they can surprise you.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, like they
You're
definitely
like you're like, oh
understand more.
shit, I've never even thought about something like that. But like you're a child, and that's the only way that you could think about something like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like the questions they ask can stun you and stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're really, really funny. Like kids are hilarious like that. But like I said, it's all really comes down to perspective because because kids don't understand that, like, you know, your parents are people too. And, you know, you'll see, and that's something that kills me is, you know, I've been through a lot with like my family. I love them to death. And I'm like big on forgiveness when it comes to that stuff and try to be super chill. Because, you know, I think that like family is important. You know, being adopted plays a big part in that too. You know, like my family's just important to me. And, you know, I understand that like my parents are people too, just like I am, and I make mistakes. They make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I think some parents or some people grow up thinking their parents are so infallible that when they realize their parents are people, they like can't take it. It's like they have a fucking meltdown, you know?
Well, like one of the most fun things like that I do, like looking back at my childhood, is trying to figure out who was just like barely holding their shit together as like an adult that like I like had to deal with. It's like it's just like this person was probably like going through a lot, and yet I consider them like, you know, like, oh, like the authority like in that situation. It's like, oh no, no.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Perspectives change for sure.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to the art? I don't have Andy's topic. I thought about it, and I just really don't.
Did you see the story about this guy who fell like 15 stories off a cruise ship and lived or some shit? And was like floating out in the ocean for like
Oh, I
15
did
hours
actually.
and survived?
Yeah,
That shit's
yeah.
wild, dude.
So I
Shout out to
like
that guy though, real quick. I mean, I don't even like
first
the ocean. That would be terrifying. Fuck
shout out.
that.
I saw the guy who saved him, like the Coast Guard, and he was like getting like emotional about like the fact that he like live that long. 15 hours in the ocean,
Bro.
and I was like, dude, god damn, like
No, no,
I don't. Do you think you could do that? Like,
no.
I,
Fuck no. I wouldn't
I didn't
last
know
30
anybody could.
minutes.
Yeah,
My black ass can't even float. There's no way. I would
Fif-
die so quick just based off of like my respect for the ocean. It'd be like some octopus would like grab me, or some kraken shit would just grab. That's like how that. If I'm in that situation, I'm like, well, this is it. Like that's how I would go, and everyone would be like, oh damn, remember Hugs hated the ocean.
but you have to like accept that you're about to drown.
Yeah, you would. You would have to. I'd become too tired, and I'd just have to
Just
just take it. Or if I'm going to learn how to float for the first time, whoop, that's it, dude. This is the last swim lesson. That's like expert level. And if I figure it out, then I'd just be like sunburned to shit.
15 hours.
That's crazy. No.
Like who? Like I didn't even know like Michael Phelps could do something like that.
Dude, I don't think you could. I mean, you're just treading water, but still, and it's in the ocean. Like he's 20 miles off the coast of Louisiana, I think it was.
But like nobody like was close to him, like where or saw it happen.
No, like nobody saw it happen. He went and then
He was drunk too. I
yeah,
think.
he like went to go outside and go like do something, and then never came back. And it's like what? And that's what freaks me out about ships, man. The
No cruises, like fuck that shit.
cruises are spooky as shit, man.
Yeah, like some of like the strangest shit like that could ever happen in your life happens on a cruise. Like straight up, it's like you're in like a whole different country at this point. Like you're like
It's like if
you could get murdered and you could hook up with the neighbor who just takes her clothes off while you're looking in the window.
Speaking of which, shout out, thinking about going on a cruise next year, so let's go. Although I do feel cruises are like I feel like cruises are like it's just like a murder mystery waiting to happen. It's like it's gonna happen. You're in like a
100%.
West. It's like every time you get in, they're like tickets, please. It's like the beginning of the Wes Anderson film that you're in, and someone's gonna go missing, and next thing you know, like Carrot Top's gonna show up. It's like fuck that, no. Or you're gonna get sick.
Is there a cruise that has not had somebody murdered on it? Like that's what I want to know.
Oh no! So this is true story, but it wasn't on the cruise ship. So no one got murdered on my cruise ship. But we went on a cruise in 6th grade. We flew from Texas to Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, and then we like went out on our cruise ship, did our little thing, came back. When we flew back, we flew Value Jet, and we flew the specific jet, Value Jet, that took off from Fort Lauderdale, went to Atlanta, landed in Atlanta. We ended up meeting Willie Nelson at the Ben and Jerry's place, which was super trippy because my dad was geeking the fuck out. We get back to Texas. The same plane that we were on, that Value Jet plane, is the Value Jet plane that blew up over the Everglades. So the next day, that same plane, like it flew to Atlanta, flew back, and then was leaving the next morning, and that plane exploded over the Everglades.
Jesus Christ.
It was the craziest shit ever. We were at home watching TV. My dad was geeking out. I was like, what the fuck? And that was literally the exact same like plane number that we had been on, where it was like some crazy pressurizer thing blew up over the Everglades on takeoff. The exact same plane.
That is wild. Not to be like a one-upper, but
No, it was just nuts. Like that freaked me the fuck out, man.
yeah, Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of the planes that hit the Twin Towers.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he was just late to the flight, so he missed it. But that shit is wild. Like that's like what we're talking about, like the butterfly effect or sliding doors moment.
That's Final Destination, dude.
Well, it's sliding doors. It's
skipped me. Who's next?
You could have like left like a day later, and then you're dead.
Pretty crazy. Freaked me out, dude. And then I remember just like
what happened at the dark alert?
Well, I survived. So I mean,
but a lot of people didn't.
That is true.
But also, I don't like to think about you dying like that.
Well, that just freaked me out. I was in
that's
in
literally
6th grade.
the exact. Yeah, but that's like the year I met you.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Then,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
fuck
like,
that
who's
shit.
this kid with the frosted tips and the puka shells? He's in the hallway with me.
How dare you? How
What's
dare-
up? I'm like, hey, what's up?
Okay, so since you brought up the puka shells, I've been thinking about wearing pearls recently. What do you think about that?
Do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
The Iron Ape thinks like I should never ever even think
Well,
about it.
what does the Iron Ape know? Buy a matching
He,
set. Buy some
he,
bro pearls. Pearls for me and pearls for you. Pearls for all of my entire crew. You want white, black, brown, or blue?
I just wonder if like a girl would be like, "This is lame."
It depends. Or you just have to be like, oh, I really like I'm into Harry Styles and you'd have to have more than just pearls to pull it off. You couldn't just wear pearls.
I'm thinking about
Unless
it.
they're like black and you're like and they have some little tassel on the
Nah,
end and
nah,
you're like,
nah,
oh,
nah,
these
nah,
are
nah.
my power pearls and these are made of obsidian. I got them from a high chakra man that I found when I was backpacking through the Himalayas. My dad owns a couple Volvo dealerships, and I just every summer we travel, and we get a picture somewhere. One time we were in Malaysia for like 6 months. Just surfing, and the food is just it's just so incredible.
No, I would say that they're my grandma's or something. Like if I had to justify it, I wouldn't go that hard. I'd just be like,
I'm almost, I've almost got 400 hours yoga instructor. So, I'm really working on, opening a chain of studios / coffee shops. But, no electronics allowed. So, if you want to bring like a typewriter or something really chill.
God damn, dude. Do you want to go to the articles?
Is that believable?
Uh, it, it's weird how detailed that was.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Sorry. Well, you know what? I'm not sorry. That was great. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank being grounded for all these voices and me using my imagination. All right.
Like a child.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's go. So this has been the talk of the town. No, I don't want that. Get out of here. Axios. I bet you they cut me off. No, they let me have the whole thing.
Okay. Okay. Give me one.
What?
1 second. I just have to pee.
Oh, here we go. He's got a pee. So we're just gonna play a little.
Yeah. Play the clip.
That's not a clip. We're just gonna play a little jazz. So Andy's got a pee. He's sick. I hope it's not the Rona. And Brady bitches locked him up. But okay, while we wait for him on his PP break, recently Donald Trump had talks with white nationalist Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago for dinner. So if you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he is this kind of alt-right, but not alt-right, troll. He heads America First, which is like a pact. Or I think it's a pack. It's like a political organization. He spits off a lot of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Doesn't think women should be able to vote. Literally believes in a dictatorship that could enforce the will that they believe, their religious kind of worldview on everybody. Not really a great person. He's banned from a majority of social media platforms. He's kind of just a hot mess. And I mean, he had Marjorie Taylor Greene speak at one of his events recently. She denounced him. He's popped up every once in a while. Well, him and Kanye West, mind blowing, and Milo Yiannopoulos, who was a former Breitbart editor, senior editor, and contributor at Breitbart, who then was kicked out of Breitbart for kind of being a creepazoid, is now, I guess, Milo Yiannopoulos is running Kanye West's political campaign. Well, they all met up with Donald Trump to have dinner at Mar-a-Lago, which is just super, super interesting and pretty cringe, if you ask me. Because there's no real question on what Nick Fuentes kind of stands for. He makes that pretty evident in what he says. I mean, I'm not going to play any clips. I could, but I kind of don't want to give that type of bullshit a platform. I was playing it for somebody else earlier today, and they were just like, what? But I mean, he's banned from the RNC, from CPAC, not even allowed on premises. So he has his own AFPAC, which is the America First conference where he has, and it's basically just a bunch of young white guys who feel disenfranchised, like the world's against them, who are super bigoted and anti-Semitic and think they should run the world. It's super weird that Donald Trump is meeting with them, and to me, it honestly seems kind of like a gasp. I mean, I guess Kanye asked if Donald Trump would be his running mate. Donald Trump told him that he shouldn't even run. What a weird fucking dinner. That's like the weirdest cast of characters for a dinner. But have you heard anything about this now that you're back from PP break? Or
yeah, okay, so he does stand.
PP break.
He does stand for stuff like which is and I hesitant to even say this, but the Jews are the problem.
I kind of paraphrase. He's like anti-Semitic, bigoted, doesn't believe in interracial marriage, doesn't believe
he's Christian.
He's super Christian, doesn't believe in like premarital sex, contraceptives, woman's right to choose, a woman's right to vote, interracial marriage.
He said that we should have a dictator because this is a godless country, and like it's like, bro, what the fuck?
There was a really good, I want to say, Louis Theroux. Yeah, he interviewed him and like did a little documentary on him and followed him. I suggest anybody go watch it. It's like the alt-right thing that I think maybe it recently came out, but he followed him around. And yeah, I mean, the stuff that he says is super crazy. There's some wild ass clips. He's banned from pretty much all platforms, social media platforms, except for the ones that'll host him. But he's got like 10 to 15,000 people that watch him live every single night whenever he has a show, and it's crazy. Never had a girlfriend. There's some pretty cringy clips. I know that
he's never had a girlfriend.
Never had a girlfriend. Doesn't believe in girlfriends. So if you're in his like cabinet, his inner circle, they're not allowed to have girlfriends. I know that there was
what
he got rid of his treasurer for having a girlfriend and potentially having premarital sex. Like, dude, he's super crazy out there, and he admits, like, there's a recent broadcast where he's like, hey, the people don't want these things that we want, so we're gonna have to like take control and impose it on them.
Exactly. And that's why he's like, we need a dictator, and the point was like that, yeah, if you don't believe in this, like, yeah, exactly what you just said, like then you have to like force them to believe it.
Donald Trump said he didn't know who he was, and it's like, dude, if you don't know who he is, and you're not like vetting these people before they come into Mar-a-Lago, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Well, you know what's so weird about this is that Jared Kushner and his daughter Ivanka are Jewish. Like Ivanka converted to and Donald Trump's like hanging out with like anti-Semites.
Even Mike Pence was like, come on, Trump, you gotta dial this one back. So it's really crazy that he would even host him for dinner. And then Milo Yiannopoulos posted a picture of him, Nick Fuentes, Kanye West doing a Tim Pool podcast.
Who's Tim Pool?
He's like he says he's a left centrist, but he's really just like a right wing dude pretending to be like, oh, I'm liberal, I'm democratic until they tell me their ideas. But he's pretty much like right wing conservative, but pretends like he's not. But he has a pretty big podcast. But the fact that these people are hosting them is like mind blowing to me.
The former president of the United States
is having them over for dinner. And I mean, obviously him and Kanye, whatever, he's like, look, I need to make sure that the blacks like me. Come on, ye. I'll help you build your shoes. We'll build a little factory somewhere.
It's not ye, it's yay.
Yay, ye, whatever. Whatever it is. Listen, Mr. West. I'm going to build a factory. We're going to build it. It's going to be the best factory. It's going to be the biggest factory. We're going to build it in the middle of St. Petersburg. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to say Trump and yay, ye. Yay, ye.
Don't you think it's weird that that there's white supremacists like sitting down with Kanye?
No, because Kanye is like saying stuff that they're like, yeah. See, like, this is what's funny. So like it's more of like an angry black quarterback topic, but with like Kyrie Irving and all these things about anti-Semitic views, and then like the black Israelites, like the black Islamic Israelites or whatever, Hebrew Israelites show up in protest for him. That is like a hate group. Like those people are labeled as a hate group. They're not like the beliefs that they spout off. People shouldn't be like, yeah. It's like because they probably hate most of the people that are like, yeah, that's awesome that they're up there in solidarity. So people, I think that it's not a surprise that people are just looking for support and are taking it from wherever they get it.
And it's also,
in
yeah,
hindsight, they're like, what? Because I think that they're like, hey, we got this Nick Fuentes kid. He's got a big following. He's had Marjorie Taylor Greene at his events. He's had all these speakers. Matt Gaetz, is dating his ex-girlfriend or something, whatever weird. And then he's like, oh, it sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a young whippersnapper. We need to get him in here. You need to get him in front of me now. We need him here now. Let's have him move for taco salads. And then he comes over, and then Trump doesn't realize because he even said he didn't even know who he was. And I almost
that's not true. That's not true because he actually said like something like in the past, like where like he obviously knows who the fuck this guy is.
Well, I mean, okay, but what I'm saying is this is kind of like him looking for support and looking to try to pull a demographic of people with him. Because it's like, if Donald Trump loses those people to DeSantis, say, then like that doesn't bode well for him. I think that, their party's kind of split in half. He's looking for any type of support that he can get. He's like, the blacks love Yeezys. They love them. So he wants to get, give me some Yeezys. I'll wear them at every press conference. Just be my running mate.
God damn it.
What did Donald Trump say? I like Kanye West is a very troubled man who just happens to be black. What? Why is that? That's a quote. He said that. Why would you say that?
What is wrong with like the other side of this country? Like, it's just like, God damn it. Florida man just wilding out constantly. Do we have more on this, or should we go to the next one?
No, I'm just saying, like, there's just like clips where it's just like, yeah. And then I guess Trump said something about Kanye's wife, and Kanye got pissed.
Kanye's wife?
Or ex-wife said something. He's like, that's the mother of my children. But like, what is Milo Yiannopoulos doing there for Yee 24? Because Fuentes was like at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville.
Yeah, this dude was at Charlottesville. Like, what is it? The Jews will not replace us, is what they said. That guy was there.
Yeah, he was there, and but he didn't like what happened. He said he had issues with what happened, but that's the whole thing. Is he's more of a buttoned
somebody dying?
He's more like a buttoned up sleazy magazine salesman. Who, like, if you bumped into him and he asked you for $10 at a gas station because he was out of gas, you'd be like, well, you kind of believe him and give it to him and not feel bad about it. But then, like, you'd see him doing the same thing, like, a week later. He's just, like, sleazy as fuck, but he can pass. He's, like, a good, like, young poster child for, like, he's like, women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, he just taps into this, like, incel type bullshit, which is such a big movement that
he is an incel.
Oh, he's the ultimate incel. So he's like their kind of like leader.
I didn't know that was a movement. I thought it. Yeah, because it's involuntary celibacy.
Yeah, but I think that some people attach. I mean, not to like, we're not experts on this.
But I'm just saying,
I think some people who are automatically awkward, I think they put themselves in that category before they even would like qualify. So I think you might have some kids that are walking around at like 11 or 12 who think it's just cool to be a dick and decide to become an incel before they even can before they've even figured out what the fuck they want from life. So
I just thought by definition, if you're an incel, you didn't choose to be an incel.
Because you can make a case that he's more in the form of like indoctrinating people into that, where he's like, hey, so you have someone like him, Milo Yiannopoulos, who's like a former Breitbart like propaganda master and fake news dude,
and gay.
Not anymore. I think he converted. I think he says he's not anymore.
How do you convert?
No, I'm serious. But that almost think that like, cause he had a boyfriend who was black, and that's how he would say, "Well, I'm not racist. My boyfriend's black." But it was like, no, dude, you're like kind of.
I know,
racist.
But like, are you converting if you're now hooking up with women? Like, it's how about you just chose to do that? Like,
no, I think he did that. I think that was a part of like his rebranding.
I know, but it's
It's
just
just
like
like
you're not converting to like Christianity. You just decided that you're gonna
maybe,
have to.
dude, if he's rolling with Fuentes and Kanye, I mean, he's got to be rolling pretty deep with Jesus.
Oh well, no, yeah, I'm sure.
Like a
Let
dangerous version of
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was gonna say like let's just you know, like I don't like Christianity necessarily, but I don't like the shit on Jesus necessarily either.
Well, I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying their Jesus is scary.
Yeah,
All right.
for
Next,
real.
next topic. This is actually, where is it? Where is my? Don't have a clip for it. Well, this is just for, we have these protests that are going on, the zero COVID policy protests that are going on in China right now, which are kind of all over the place. You're my kind of the China correspondent. What can you like kind of enlighten me? Because I know that there's lockdown protocols, and I'm playing a video of one of these protests, but like what do you know about the situation? You're good at breaking the shit down for me, honestly.
So, like literally, if you test positive for COVID, in China, then you have to just stay in your house and you're not allowed to leave. They have drones that will fucking come find you. Like if you leave the house and yell at you to go back to your house. And it's millions and millions of people who are just getting like literally like house arrest just because somebody had COVID. And this is the most unprecedented uh, uh like protest ever in China, like since Xi Jinping has been the dictator. Like I'll just call him a dictator. You know, he's the head of the Communist Chinese party. But like this is a problem for him. It's really similar to what's happening in Iran, like with the
Uh-huh.
like what happened with like the woman who wasn't properly wearing her hijab. Yeah, like these two countries are in trouble. Like, or not countries, their dictatorships are in big trouble. The only problem though in China is um, that they just elected Xi Jinping to a third term, and so now he's the longest reigning um, chairman. I like he doesn't. They don't even say president. They're like
Well, that's
chairman
what
of the
I'm saying. And was he actually elected? So I'm showing a video right now for the listeners where it's like the largest quarantine camp in
Yeah.
China's Guangzhou city is being built as 90,000 isolation pods. It's just like a field of fucking isolation pods where I guess if you get COVID, they'll lock you up.
Dude, they have like concentration camps for like the Uyghurs. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, oh no, but now you're
yeah,
saying it's
but
like
but
it's
but
just,
this is like the real, like this not the real, like this is just like the actual population that he like relies on. And he's fucked. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but it feels like a lot of people are about to die because
they
I
they
don't feel
just
like
burned
the
one of his like ceremonial home things that he grew up in somewhere. They like torched it, they Molotov cocktailed it, and the riots are pretty wild looking. They seem really crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's gonna work. Like I'm like scared for those people. I also am like very proud of those people that they're willing to like go out in the streets. Like same with the Iranians, but it's like I don't know if this is gonna like end well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bold move, and now you see like there's what those riots that were outside of the Apple factory. I mean, people are just getting
Yeah,
fed up with their shit.
yeah. Apple needs to do something like and Nike. Like I've been calling them out like from day one on this podcast. It's like why are you doing business like in this country? Like you need to stop. Like seriously, like it's really fucked up.
Well, because our government and the free market has incentivized people to do that, and that's like that's like so like our government allowing them to do business over there as part of it. It's like our government's just as complicit. That's why it's like the NBA, they can't speak out against like the Chinese government, because if they do, they'll won't let them. They'll cut them out of billions of dollars. They just have to keep their mouth shut. You know, it's like
Yeah, I
everybody's
hate
got
that.
some vested interest in it, so they do their business there because it's like they're making so much more money. The profit margins are so much better by doing that. That fuck making that shit here. Let's do it overseas. They're incentivized to do it, and they if they have to pay taxes on it, it's fine. And they don't even pay taxes anyway, so it's fucked up.
Yeah, there's this thing. It's called decoupling, and it basically is that we just don't do business with China ever again. But then like we can't get any products from China, and they can't get any products from us. And then there's this argument about like, well, is that like gonna be worse for the world than it is better? And the question is unanswered. But I just feel like, I don't know, like somebody needs to take a stand. Like, and if it's anybody, it's us, like the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if some of their allies decide to take a stand against
They
them.
don't have allies. Russia? Oh, okay. Good job.
They're like, whoa, please, hey, you need
North
to come,
Korea?
Xi Jinping, you need to come, please, calm down. You're acting foolish. You're being crazy. Americans are paying attention. What are you doing? Chill the fuck out, guy. Please,
Yeah.
you're blowing it for everyone.
It's like literally like Pakistan, Russia, North Korea, and they do business like in Africa.
Dude, that'd
But
be so lit if North Korea did some of that like air like where they like assassinate people at airports and stuff, but they did it to Putin. Like North Korea takes Putin out and we have nothing to do with it, and it's obviously
they
them.
would never. No, no.
That would be epic.
Well, okay, but they just can't. Like the only reason why North Korea is North Korea is because China, and China is just not going to let that happen.
That'd be epic though.
That would be epic.
That'd be a wild card. No one would see it coming.
I know. I hate talking about like assassinating Putin like on like recorded podcast. However, I feel like it should happen.
Well, I'm not saying I'm advocating for it. I'm saying it would be
No,
wild
I-
if
but-
they did.
but
That
I-
would be a wild card.
But I feel like that I am, like personally. It like not like I'm gonna go do it, but like I'm just saying. Like,
No, I mean he sucks, and
well, like the there's like this thing like where it's like you be careful like when you assassinate somebody because the next person might be worse. I don't see how the next person could be worse than Putin. Like it's as bad as it gets right now. Like he just like murders people in hospitals. Like, come on.
yeah, like
Well,
outside, out on like in other sovereign countries.
yeah, like what else are we talking about?
Yeah, true. Well, pay attention to that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, no, it could get crazy, but also the other problem is like it's gonna destabilize the second largest fucking economy in the world. Like,
Yeah, their Dow dropped like 500 points today.
yeah, so like it's not good for like everybody, like let alone like the Chinese people.
Yeah, but I mean they're getting like walked all over, building camps outside the city that can house like 90 to 100,000 people.
What a fucking nightmare! Like just couldn't.
And so when
imagine.
people were like, "Hey, you should probably stay home and please wear a mask," like this is what that crazy shit actually looks like.
But isn't that scary though? Like that can happen to a country that has 1.8 billion people. Like.
Yeah, but
Right.
I mean, you got the tactics that have been used to gain that sort of control over these people is also, very nefarious. So it's not like they have this control over people based off of because they like, oh, we want you to. It's like what I'm saying. It's like, oh, Putin was elected. It's like, but was he?
No.
No.
Putin
Well, no, but
definitely
you
wasn't,
know,
but-
no, but you,
but-
you
but-
understand
but-
what I'm saying.
No, I do. But Russia considers itself a democracy. China proudly says that they're a communist country.
No, I know. So whenever they're saying like, oh, we just got elected to a third term, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, No,
You mean that he
but
just
it
was
wasn't.
like, he was like, I'm staying for another term, and they were like, yes, okay.
But yeah, but it's not the people who are electing him. It's the Communist Chinese Party
Yeah, no, but that
versus Russia, where they're just stuffing ballot boxes and claiming that
or they
people elected.
or they create a new office, and now you will be appointed number one cool guy in all of Moscow, so he sits above president, above prime minister, everyone here for Putin, number one cool guy, and everyone's like, yay.
I think Putin might be more fucked though, like to be honest, right? Because he's fucked up this war so bad, and there's over 100,000 people have been either killed or harmed. Like,
Oh, someone was trying to explain to me how that, like, I think Putin's good. I was like, Putin is
wait, hold on. Somebody's trying to explain to you what?
that Putin wasn't that bad.
Oh my god!
And I was like, Putin's horrible. I was like, he's like Spetsna, bro. He's
like
a murderer.
He's Hitler.
No, he's a murderer, dude. Like, he's evil. He is a trained, like, counter-terrorist spy shithead. And he's like dreams of getting all of the old Soviet Union back together. Like, he's crazy as fuck.
He's an incompetent Hitler. Like, that's what he is.
I think they were like, no, but like now I think he's like got it right. And I was like, no, like, and even if that doesn't negate all of the shitty things he's done. Absolutely not.
He will never, ever, 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 ever be allowed in like normal society.
Some guys breaking into everybody's house in the neighborhood every night
and raping them and
well,
killing them.
Jesus, I'm not
like,
even. Why do you gotta take it to that? I'm just making,
because that's what they're doing.
But I'm not even talking. I'm not trying to make my analogy. Don't throw stuff in my analogy.
I
was
just
saying,
trying to say,
if you live in a neighborhood and some dude's constantly breaking into houses and stealing people's shit and fucking with people's shit all the time, just because he randomly mows somebody's yard once without for the fuck of it, doesn't mean that he's a good guy now. Obviously, like, you know,
what has he ever done good?
I mean, in our eyes, zero. I'm sure there's some crazy people in Russia who are like, he's the best. Vladimir Putin is the best person. He is. How can you not like? He was voted number one cool guy. Come on.
No. Fuck that guy. Like, he's like literally the worst person on the planet.
He is. Yes, he is up there. He is top three worst guys.
Yeah, I guess like Bashar.
But do not tell anybody. I told you that you did. I did not tell you that. Do not tell on me.
The only other person is the president of Syria, who the Russians support, and Bashar al-Assad. Like, it's like,
what is he up to, man?
I can't believe he's still alive.
I haven't heard him on the waves, dude. He's been keeping a low profile. I haven't heard anything about him in a while. That's why it's like,
I know
he's
that's
still
why
alive.
it's surprising that he like can do that. And you know, like, his wife is American.
That's crazy.
I know, dude. Like, how do you walk around at, like, just in general, like, and not think you're gonna get murdered? Like, if you're like Bashar al-Assad, like, Jesus Christ.
I wonder, like, I guess she can't be a spy. That'd be too obvious. That's like a chick who's watched Homeland too much, and she's like, I'm in love with al-Assad, and I just want to marry him. I'm gonna move to Syria. I'm gonna be like Claire Danes, and I'm moving to Syria. I'm gonna get a scarf and hide in baskets and chase people until he finds me and we fall in love.
He was like, legitimately, he was a dentist and studied like in, I think, England, and then his dad gave him the crown or whatever the fuck, and that's how he became this, like, the worst person in the world. Like, it's so weird.
That's fucking weird. So like, yeah, that's maybe that you're onto something, like dentists being evil or being the worst.
It was either like Sweden or England, one of the other.
Dentists being like some of the worst people in the world.
I've already said that.
Yeah, like, so that just reaffirms it, because now you become like an evil dictator. Like, it takes a special type of person to become an evil dictator, just like it takes a special kind of person to try to like rule the entire world, and they're obviously one and the same.
And evil person to become a dentist.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be evil motherfucker. Be like, yeah, I want to grind some people's fucking teeth. That's what I want to do. That's like Nat Hackett's job before he was a coach.
Okay, let's not say that Hackett.
I used to be
So,
a dentist.
no, I just meant dictator.
My favorite day was Crowns Thursday.
Like Bashar al-Assad is throwing out barrel bombs, like
But that's wild that he was studying
like,
to be a dentist. That's like so. That's such a
no,
leap.
he was a dentist.
He was a dentist. That's such a leap.
It really is.
Like I'm quitting. I quit.
It's
I'm
like
out.
what happened? Like you just decided, okay, like his first move was that he released all of Al Qaeda out of prison because he thought that was going to cause chaos in his country, and then he just started like throwing out nerve gases. Like it is insane what that guy's done, and he's still alive.
Yeah, that's wild. But I mean, Syria is pretty nuts. Like I don't know how you'd get to him.
I don't understand why we. I feel like we could have.
Maybe that was.
I don't get why we haven't.
Homelander, dude. Maybe that's his wife. She was supposed to Claire Danes him, and then she Claire Danes it and fell in love with him.
Yeah, it's the same thing that I was saying about Putin. It's like we could kill him, but we just have chosen not to for whatever the fuck reason.
Well, I mean, Trump did shoot a bunch of tomahawks at him and was like, "Hey, man, I'm shooting rockets at you."
Well, no, Trump killed Soleimani.
Well, but that was in Iran. In Syria, he shot.
No,
a bunch
that
of
was
rockets.
actually in Iraq, but he was Iranian.
Yeah, but he shot a bunch of rockets at what's it called, Syria.
Yeah, but so did Barack Obama. Like
yeah, Barack Obama be dropping.
We literally have troops in Syria right now, and Turkey just bombed a base that our troops were at, who's a NATO ally, because they were trying to kill Kurds, and it was like, bro, there's like American troops here. What the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, with nukes.
Turkey doesn't have any nukes.
Turkey doesn't? No, sorry, that's Pakistan. Sorry.
Yeah,
Pakistan has nukes. All right.
We have a nuclear base in Turkey.
There you go. All right, you ready to do this last one? It's really just talking about the Georgia runoff. Early voting started. It looks like Herschel Walker is down. I do have this clip I want to play real quick. It's really short. It's 6 seconds. It's just going to be a repeated loop.
This election is more than Herschel Walker.
About Herschel Walker saying this election is about the people. Did you see this?
No.
He's got Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham sandwiching him on both sides. He said, first of all, this election isn't about Herschel Walker. This election is about the people.
Erection.
First of all, this election is more than Herschel Walker. This election
Good job, bro.
How are we at a runoff with this, man? He's so stupid. I mean, I feel bad. Obviously, the guy's got like issues, but come on, dude.
That's exactly how I feel. It's like this guy is mentally ill, and I feel bad talking shit about him. But he is a fucking problem for this country if he gets elected. Dude. And also, they don't take like the Senate even if he does win. So who the fuck cares? However, Kemp, the governor, who got 200,000 more votes than he did, but is also a Republican, is now like out on the campaign trail.
He's got everybody. He's got Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham sitting next to him, helping him to make sure he doesn't say stupid shit. And then he still says erection. He's got Lady G and the fucking Zodiac Killer sitting next to him, and he says erection. He said erection on Fox News. This first of all, this election ain't about. This erection's about the people, bro.
I guess like.
And I feel bad because obviously, and then he did football, and then he got knocked the fuck around a bunch, and then he had a whole, MMA career where then it's like, who's letting this guy play MMA? He can't even spell MMA. Like, what the fuck?
But these are the same guys that supported Donald Trump and who's like actually more dangerous for the country, Donald Trump or him? And it's Donald Trump, obviously. And so these are the exact same, people who just, they're just, I don't know what they're fucking thinking, but they're thinking.
Well, there's early voting, so if you live in Georgia, please go fucking vote for Raphael Warnock. Somebody was telling me, they're like, well, I don't like Warnock because he's pro-abortion. You can't be a pastor and be pro-abortion. I'm like, that's it? That's all you got? Herschel Walker's like paying for abortions out there.
No,
Like
he loves it, dude, and like he loves paying for
I was like,
abortion.
I would put 10 grand down that Raphael Warnock probably hasn't paid for a woman's abortion. Like, he just doesn't strike me as the type. There's something about that he has, to me, just on face value and like understanding credentials, he has more credibility than Herschel Walker's like ever had. The fact that he's up there and that they think people would vote for him strictly based off of the fact that he would vote in their best interest on a topic that they're not.
Why the fuck would anybody think Herschel Walker was a good senator? Like, do you think that any other senator, if he did get elected, goes up to him and is like, "Yeah, what do you think about this? Like, let me get
Ted
advice."
Cruz and Lindsey Graham are like erection.
No, they're campaigning for him. They're campaigning for him. But do you think that they're gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this subject?" It's like,
no, they're just gonna be like, "You need to vote this way." And you'd be like,
exactly.
Yeah, okay, boss, I vote.
So like, it's just like he has no ideas. Period.
There's another clip I can't play; it's too long. But he talks about like vampires and werewolves and how he watched a movie and how he wanted to be a vampire, but then he realized that werewolves could kill vampires. So then he's like, "Nah, I'd rather be a werewolf." He talks for like 30.
What the fuck,
bro? That's a thing. That's like literally a direct quote. It's so frustrating. It's like I can't. Like he's not even remotely near qualified. It's so frustrating that we're even at this point. We have to have a runoff because people would rather vote for party over like best candidate. Like if there was a good Republican candidate that went against Hillary Clinton, I probably would have voted for him. Maybe I wasn't a big Hillary fan. I might have voted for him, but Donald Trump, get the fuck out of here. They're putting up these these fucking clown cars where they have a clown car full of people wearing fucking clown shoes walking around trying to pretend to be politicians, and it's obnoxious.
I don't even get it. Like, it's like, geez. But I do. Oh, I kind of do get it because it's like.
I hope not.
Well, no, they have lost like the ability to actually like have ideas. Period. Like, it's like that's why they fucking lost the Senate. Like, again, is because like inflation, but we have nothing to say about it, like what we're gonna do, and that's what it's just like, so you guys are out of ideas, so we're gonna get celebrities to like run for office, and like fingers crossed it works.
Yeah, like someone was like, well, John Fetterman is the equivalent of Herschel Walker, and I was like, but he was going up against Dr. fucking Oz. Dr. Oz is so unlikable. You could have put Grimace, the Hamburglar. Mayor McCheese would have beaten John Fetterman, probably. But not Dr. Oz. No. Not like, oh, my mom's taking fish oil anal bead juice because he says it helps with, crow's feet. He's got everyone's mom addicted to just rub the powdered chlorine from your pool on your skin. It'll give you a year-round tan, like the pretty black woman next door. And like they say, black don't crack. We'll be right back after some words from our sponsors. Like,
okay, but can you at least admit that Oprah come in like at the last minute saying that she would vote for Fetterman?
Yeah, Oprah. I mean, because of course she would. She
saved our lives.
No, she didn't. She's just trying to stop the monster she created.
I know, but
if Dr. Phil ran for office,
that.
If Dr. Phil ran for governor, she'd be like, no. She has that's it. If anything, the only reason he didn't get elected is because Oprah gave the thumbs up, thumbs down. And if she has that much power, I don't like that. I don't like that. Oprah's got that much power. I don't like that, Oprah.
But she does have that
I'm
much
your,
power.
I'm like the Mike Lindell of Oprah.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I don't know, dude, but I got a new pillow coming out next week. Check it out, you guys. It's
Jesus
gonna be at all
Christ.
CVS's and Walgreens.
Well, if you watch Summer House, Craig makes pillows.
Tight.
It's called like Down South Sewing. Shout out, Sir Pangas.
Down south pillows. We got the pillows for your noggin. Yay! Our pillows are broader than the side of a barn. God damn it! Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Don't like to use the Lord's name in vain. My bad.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry, ma'am. Pardon me.
All right, you want to close this up?
Yeah. Pay attention to what's going on in China. Like, follow, subscribe. Yeah, if you guys got therapy questions, like, send them our way. We appreciate it. 66. We've been doing this for a while, so it's been fun. And, you know, we just really appreciate all you guys. But please share it, like it, subscribe it. If you hear something funny, clip it, send it to us. You can tell us you hate us. I don't give a fuck. But, you know, we appreciate the interactions, and you guys do send them out. But, you know, yeah, I don't know. Just be nice to each other. Stay happy. It's holidays. Hopefully you got some shit.
And
Well, fine. And like always, you guys go fuck yourselves. I guess I'm nice. I guess I'm nice on Angry Black Quarterback, so I have to be mean on here. But yeah, y'all go fuck yourselves. Get the fuck out of here, you jabronis, you bitches, you suckers.
oh, okay.
Peace out, you guys.
Recording stopped.
That was pretty good. I'm gonna end it there.